get help. You know, if you don't know somebody, you could call us. You could come here, speak at one of our workshops, set up a complimentary meeting. Our website is mcadamsgroupllc.com. That's mcadamsgroupllc.com. The next thing I want to talk about is beneficiary planning. I have often said that 99% of the people that I meet with, I can find at least one major mistake. And the reason I say 99% is because, well, you know, at some point maybe I'll meet that person that actually has everything correct. But in 25 years, I have yet to meet that person, and I've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of meetings over my career. I've never met one person or couple that had their affairs in order, even though many thought they did. Now just let that sink in. One of the common areas I find mistakes are in the area of beneficiary planning. Okay? I had a couple come in recently, and he had his beneficiary structured properly, but when we checked on the wife's account, she had her husband on there as the primary, but there was no contingent on her company plan. And her financial advisor of 20 years never asked about it, not once in 20 years. I found it inside of the first 30 minutes of knowing these folks. Just having a contingent beneficiary doesn't solve all the problems, because similar to the asset titling, there are literally dozens of ways that you can structure beneficiaries. There's per capita, there's per stirpies. You can make the beneficiary a trust. Oftentimes, if you have IRAs, making the trust a beneficiary can be a huge mistake. That's a common thing that we see a lot. So you got to get your beneficiary planning addressed and fixed. You may not know how to fix it. You need help. I need to take a break. On the other side of the break, we're going to pick back up on the 12 things everyone needs to be doing to get their affairs in order. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay tuned for the other side of the break.
We have the technology. Better, stronger, more with the Retirement Income Doctor. The Retirement Income Doctor. Next. Would you like to know how you can tell if an advisor specializes in individual income-producing instruments versus an advisor who uses a combination of stock market and growth-oriented vehicles? Because if they specialize in the latter, they're more likely to invest your retirement accounts into bond mutual funds rather than individual bonds and bond-like instruments. Why is this important? Because when an investor buys an individual bond, they're guaranteed a fixed rate of interest for the life of the bond. And when the bond matures, they're guaranteed their principal back, assuming there has been no default. With that assumption, an investor knows exactly what they're going to earn on the bond that they hold to maturity. Bond mutual funds don't pay a fixed rate of interest. As a matter of fact, the interest that they pay fluctuates. Also, bond mutual funds don't have a maturity date. They will go on forever or until you liquidate them. So bond mutual funds can be a lot riskier than individual bonds. Most people in or near retirement who have saved their hard-earned money over a longer period of time are better suited to invest in a portfolio of individual fixed income securities for the purposes of safety and steady income. If you would like to learn more about whether individual fixed income securities are right for you, give us a call to schedule a free consultation with one of our advisors.
Call 848-2-INCOME. That's 848-246-2663. 848, the number 2, INCOME.
Okay, so what have we learned so far? If you've been listening to our first two segments, you know that virtually 100% of all people don't have their affairs in order. There's a mistake hiding somewhere. You don't know where it is. You don't know how to find it. but I promise you it's there. 25 years, I've never met with one person that I couldn't find at least one major mistake. So we talked about several. What are the rest of the 12 things you need to be doing to get your affairs in order? Well, one thing I would strongly recommend is that you protect yourself from unforeseen lawsuits, frivolous lawsuits. I don't have her name at my fingertips, but I remember seeing a Dateline special or a 2020 or one of those shows like years ago. And there was a lady that the state of California, I'm sorry, I'm trouble not laughing when I think of this. The state of California said, you're not allowed to file any more lawsuits in our state. Why? Because she had a business model. She had a way to get income to feed herself. What she did is she filed one frivolous lawsuit after another, over and over and over again. I remember one of the lawsuits they profiled in the television show was she was walking into a bank and, oh, wouldn't you know it, she stumbled over the welcome mat, just stumbled a little bit. She sued the bank.